All right, 4.3 is new, but it's pretty straightforward. Reciprocal trig ratios. So we have three primary trig ratios and we have three reciprocal trig ratios. And the three reciprocal trig ratios are reciprocals of each of the primary trig ratios. So for instance, cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. Secant is the reciprocal of cos. And cotangent is the reciprocal of tan. Now, what's this mean? Well, this means instead of like SOHCAHTOA, it's actually instead of O over H, it's H over O. Instead of A over H, it's H over A. So we're just flipping the trig ratios. It's really that straightforward. Instead of OA, it's AO. Okay, so this is what this means in terms of when we set up the ratio. So, for instance, if we have a triangle like this, and this was 30 degrees, and this is, let's say, 5, and this is 3. So I want to find the sine. Sine of 30 is 3 over 5. If I wanted to find the cosecant of 30, this is just 5 over 3. So whenever you're seeing the reciprocal trig ratios, cosecant, secant, I should probably do the short forms. Okay, so when you see these three things, you need to consider the primary trig ratios. So I see cosecant, I'm thinking sine right away. If I want to find the cosecant of 30, convert it to sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, 3 over 5. Now flip it, 5 over 3. That's all. Okay, so the primary trig ratios and the reciprocal trig ratios are just reciprocal of one another. Okay, now we'll get into some further examples. Okay, so here I have three different questions and we have to solve for the missing angles, and these are all reciprocal trig ratios. So cosecant of A, you need to relate it to its reciprocal. This is sine of A equals 1 over 8. Okay, so convert it to the primary trig ratios, and now we can solve, right? A equals sine negative 1 of 1 over 8. Grade 10 styles. I get my calculator, plug in sine negative 1 of 1 over 8, and I should get approximately 7 degrees. Okay, so my calculator doesn't have cosecant in it, but it does have sine, so we change it to sine and we solve for that angle. Okay, I'm not using exact values. 1 over 8 is not a special angle or part of the special triangles, so I'm just plugging into my calculator sine negative 1 of 1 over 8. Okay, next. Secant of B is 5 over 2. I know secant is the reciprocal of cos. Cos B is 2 over 5. So B is cos negative 1 of 2 over 5. And B is approximately 66 degrees. Do the same thing here. Tan C is 16 over 5. Flip the ratio. C is tan negative 1 of 16 over 5. Pick up the calculator, and this is approximately 73 degrees. Okay, so I didn't use the reciprocal ratios to solve using my calculator. First, I converted it, and now I'm really in grade 10 mode, right? I mean, these are pretty easy questions to solve for A. Just use sine negative 1, the second function sine button on your calculators, and solve for the angles. Please make sure that your calculators are in degree mode, not radian or gradient, because you're going to get wrong answers every time you use sine, cos, and tan if you are not in degree mode. Make sure. All right, now we're going to do one more question. Okay, so determine two angles between 0 and 360, so in one full rotation. Two angles that have a cosecant of negative 2. I need two different angles. So let me draw my Cartesian plane, a little crappy sketch. Okay, so cosecant of 2. So what's that mean? Well, I don't want cosecant, right? I want sine. So if I know that the cosecant of theta equals negative 2, I really care about that sine is negative 1 over 2. So this right here is 4.3. Okay, from here on, it's pretty much 4.2. And if you haven't experienced these questions yet, you probably just didn't do your work yet. But this is really important to get out of cosecant and give me what sine equals. Now, don't lose that negative sign, right? Reciprocals don't lose a negative. Don't think perpendicular lines, negative reciprocal. It's just a reciprocal. So sine theta is -1/2. This is a special triangle. And that special triangle, no, I lied. It's not a special triangle. That's 1/√2. Let's get back over here. So sine is negative at the bottom. If this is negative, this is what I'm talking about because this is cast. Sine is positive here, sine is positive here, both negative here. So I'm looking for these angles right here, which are going to be the same. Okay, but my angles are actually going to be 180 plus that related angle and 360 minus that related angle. So the first step is always find your location. Sine is negative, boom, I found my two locations. Then you create the angle with the x-axis, always, and that's going to be the same angle. It's going to be your related angle, the acute angle where sine is going to be the same ratio. And now we have to figure out the angle. Okay, how do we figure out the angle? Right here. You can just pick up your calculator. We can do theta equals sine -1 of 1/2. So I have an alert right here. This is not a mistake. I did not forget to include this negative. Do not include that negative. Okay, we only want to find the acute related angle. So we're going to find sine -1 of 1/2. I'm going to pick up my calculator, clear, and I'm going to do sine -1 divided by 2 equals, and this is 30 degrees. Oh, so it is a special triangle. What am I talking about? Let's draw that special triangle. Okay, so this is the 30 degrees, 60 degrees. This is 2, this is 1, this is √3. Okay, so sine of 30 is opposite over hypotenuse, 1/2. Okay, or if you're thinking of the opposite, you're looking at 1/2. Well, this 1 has to be opposite to 30. So 30 degrees is my angle. If you have difficulty understanding special angles and special triangles, you need to ask me, because this is extremely important. This is pretty much trig going forward using these special triangles. Okay, so we figured out 30. These two angles down here are 30. What's that mean? It means I'm done. It means that my two angles are 180 plus 30 to get this angle, right? This is 180 plus 30. 210 degrees is one answer. And my next one is 360 minus 30. So 330 degrees is my second angle. So my two angles that are between 0 and 360 that have a cosine of -2 are 210 and 330. Okay, again, I use the related angle, which is 30. Pay attention, do not use that negative. Figure out your angle. You can use your calculator, you can use your special triangles, and then use the related angle and the cast rule to do the 180 plus, 180 minus, 360 minus, whatever you have to do to give the two answers. And that's it for 4.3.